Welcome back to the Ethan Live podcast. I'm your host, Papa Jeff, with my co-host Debbie. Debbie, how are you doing?
Good, good. We had a good day in Lexington at the conference, so it's been a great day.
It has been a great day. So we're
It
happy to
was.
get back into our Hero Dog finalist podcast, and so we're thrilled to be joined by service and guide hearing dog semifinalist Canela and Canela's person Cecilia. How are you doing, Cecilia?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good.
It's wonderful to see you again.
Yes, thank you so much for having me back. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're so excited to see Canela's name up there, and tell everybody what part of the country you're in.
I'm in Florida.
So, and you've been, correct me if I'm wrong, you've been in Florida for quite a bit. You are a second year PhD student, is that right?
Yes.
Wow. Tell everybody about
That's impressive.
I mean, seriously impressive. Tell everybody about your education and schooling there.
Yes, so I went to Rollins College all 4 years. I got my bachelor's in chemistry, minor in English there. I got Canela around the same time as when I started college for my undergrad. And Canela was trained to aid me in the lab as she is a medical alert service dog. By the time graduation came around, the president at the time was President Cornwell, and he presented my service dog with a special patch and speech at graduation. So I was happy. And now we're at UCF, and I'm doing inorganic chemistry with focus on catalysis.
Oh, okay.
Some of that
you might have to. I was going to say you might have to back that up just a little bit.
That's really, really amazing. Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about things in your life that were going on before Canela came into your life.
So before Canela came into my life, I thought I was doing fine. I was like, oh, I can, I guess like most young adults, I was like, oh, I can take care of myself, And I was really thinking that, oh, I'm going to be in college. I'm going to be fine. Like my health just randomly hurts me at times, but I'm just going to keep going. And then 2 weeks before college, like my very first semester as a freshman, I was rushed into emergency surgery. And that was when it really hit me that like, oh, I can't handle my health on my own. Like, I need help. So I talked to my parents, and that's when we made the decision to pursue getting a service dog for myself. And since getting Canela, it's just been such a change. I feel so much more confident going about my day to day just because she gives me that added reassurance of, if something's going to happen, she knows what to do and she knows how to tell me. And it's made things so much better. Like I can go into the lab without worrying, like, am I pushing myself? Is it too much? And yeah, she just made my life so much better.
I was going to say, because you've got a heavy load there in the lab with what you're studying. So to have her support, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So you had to go in for a surgery 2 weeks before you started your first semester of college. So I'm assuming you went ahead and started college. You had to start college without Canela?
Yeah, I started college without Canela because at the time we didn't know anything about service dogs at the time because we never, like my doctor suggested it, but we never really truly delved into the research on that and how to go about it. So I ended up getting Canela, I believe, in October and started her training process with like a personal trainer, John McGarf Services. So he helped us train her from when she was a puppy up until she was considered like full-time service dog. Because they say for medical alert, it's best when you train as a puppy with you because they get to grow up knowing your health, knowing your smells. So if they're in that environment, then they get a bit better at getting those medical alerts down pat because they're constantly around you. And with Canela, that was really true. Um, because she picked up alerts so quickly. Like before we
Wow.
even taught her how to do medical alerts professionally, she was already trying to tell me in her own way that certain things were happening and to get ready for it. I actually developed a tree nut allergy, and I was eating tree nuts every single day, like because that was my snack. And
Oh,
one day, all of a sudden, she starts jumping up, and I thought, oh, maybe like she wants to have the nuts or something, like maybe she wants to eat it, but she wouldn't take it, and she kept jumping up and pawing at me. So I sat down on the floor because I figured, oh, she wants to play with me. And soon after, I started getting hives and my throat started closing up, and that's when I realized, like, oh, she really knows me by now. Like, she was only, I think she was under a year old at the time, but she really picked up those medical alerts
wow.
quick. Like, I didn't even train her for allergy alerts, and she just knew instantly. And the same thing happened with the story that's on the Hero Dog Awards.
Mhm.
Okay.
I developed a heart condition, um, and it was very, very sudden. Like, I never had any issues with my heart, and I got really sick. Unfortunately, I caught COVID, and
Yeah.
it just really knocked me out, especially because of all my other autoimmune conditions. The doctors believe that it was just a bad combo of everything, and it
Uh-huh.
attacked my heart. And I went to school like normal because, well, after I thought I was recovered, I went back to school like normal, and she started circling around me. And I'm like, that's weird. She's never done that before. And then she starts like whimpering, like trying to tell me to get down. And I was like, why is she doing that? So I figured, let me listen to her. I lay down, and then for the first time ever, I fainted. And if I was
Oh,
standing, probably would have been a lot worse. So thankfully, I'm doing a lot better. I've been cleared of the heart issues, but
good.
that year was my senior year, and I was doing an undergraduate thesis, which required me to be in a lab. So without her, I wouldn't have been able to safely do that at all. She was there letting me know, like, is it okay to go in the lab? Am I good enough? She would let me know in advance when to sit down, lay down, and it was
Wow.
really thanks to her that I was even able to graduate, which hence why the president made that speech
Yeah.
at graduation. She
Yeah.
really just my trainer calls her an angel dog because it's like she
Oh,
born and she just knew what to do. She knew what her mission was. So I'm just forever grateful for her.
yeah.
Well,
Wow.
and you mentioned it in the story in the nomination. But tell us a little bit about how important her adaptability is to read medically what's going on with you and how that has helped you.
Yeah, she's so adaptable to my health specifically. Like
Hmm.
she just knows. Like I think she does like a little bit of everything. Like I typically trained her just to do medical alerts for my autoimmune issues and then deep pressure therapy to help with flare-ups. And she picked up the allergy alerts on her own, the
Wow.
cardiac alerts on her own, the allergy, or I already said allergy, but she
That's,
picks up on so many things so quickly and so intuitively that it just blows me away.
yeah, you just wonder how is that even possible? It's just it's incredible that she has that kind of instinctual abilities. It's amazing.
How receptive and how cool has it been for like her acceptance at your college? And we see photos of her in her lab outfit. Like, how cool is it that they were so accepting and made all these arrangements and said, we want you to keep going, and we're perfectly fine with having Canella in here. How nice was that?
I was so grateful about it
Yeah.
because especially when I was applying toward different universities and colleges, I like especially for graduate program, I was so worried about that. I had some places tell me don't even apply because you have a service
Oh,
dog and we can't trust you. And I was like I can prove myself, but if this environment's going to be like that, then I should not go there.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my advisor at UCF is just so amazing. He actually made sure the lab, like he cleaned the whole lab before we started because he wanted to make sure we had that clean slate, that the floor is clean for her, even though she has that mat. He made sure that things were situated in a way so we would have room for our work too. And it was just such a help. It was such a relief too, especially with how stressful grad school is just in general, that he made
Sure.
accommodations for me in advance without me having to ask. I just thought, that's what made me keep going in the program in the first place.
Yeah, you certainly got the right dog and chose the right school, didn't you? Look at her.
Those are her laser goggles.
That's adorable picture.
She has all the extra stuff. That's very cool. And so you are pursuing a PhD in, did you say organic chemistry?
In organic.
In organic.
Inorganic.
Wow, that's very cool. And tell everybody how much longer you have left and how long you've been in school?
I'm just about to start my second year as a PhD student, so I've been here for about a year. I probably have maybe 3.5, 4 years left, but hopefully I'll be able to make it.
Yeah, you will. You've come this far. You're going to be fine. You're going to do it. And what do you want to do once you finish with your school? What is the goal then?
So originally, I started graduate school because I wanted to go into forensic catalysis. They actually have a lot of need for catalysts in forensics.
Okay.
But along the way, I want to keep my options open
Open,
because
sure.
I do like teaching. I have to teach a GTA for my research at UCF,
Uh-huh.
but I really enjoy it, and
Uh-huh.
I started YouTube as well because I wanted to better my explanation skills of science and make things a little bit more understandable for
Uh,
people. So I'm open to teaching,
okay.
but also maybe doing some sort of research. So I'm keeping my options open, but
Good.
I know my skill set, so I'm looking for, I'm gonna look for jobs that fit that bill.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll find just the perfect spot. You're going to do great.
And in the
Thank
interest
you.
of being able to explain things really well and learning that, talk to me about forensic catalyst. Like what does that entail? What does that do? You hear
I was just going to
with
bypass
with
that, Jeff,
with
and act like I knew it.
well, I mean, with true crime being such a huge thing the last
Yeah.
decade or whatever it is, you hear so much about forensics. And
Forensics.
last
Yes.
year there was a dog that could sniff electronics. And so tell us a little bit about like
Yeah.
forensic catalyst. What does that entail?
So the best way to explain forensic catalysts is to first explain what a catalyst is.
Hmm.
So the best way to explain a catalyst to anybody is number one, do you drive a car?
Hmm.
Okay. So far, so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. I'm with you.
Cars have something called a catalytic
Yeah, like a
converter.
converter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that is a catalyst.
Uh-huh.
And those are typically made of precious metals like platinum, palladium, things like that. So a catalyst essentially helps make things run more efficiently.
Efficiently.
So if you didn't have that catalyst, it would take a lot more energy to get that car moving. So in that
Uh-huh.
same way, forensic catalysis is typically they don't talk about the specifics too much because a lot of forensics is protected by NDAs and things like that. So I don't have very explicit examples, but from my understanding, it's typically finding catalysts to help certain instruments work better or developing catalysts that can help analyze different samples and things like that.
Okay.
So so yeah, that was why I originally got into forensic catalysis because I had a background in inorganic chemistry for my undergrad thesis. And then when I went to UCF, I was actually originally there for a summer internship, and I got into catalyst design there. So I figured I could add my two interests together, and that was
Yeah.
the field that I was originally thinking of. But I really like catalyst design. I think there's a lot of interesting avenues there. And, there's so many things that use catalysts that we don't think of.
Think
And there's
of.
a lot of applications for catalysts as well. There's a lot of people researching catalysts for like hydrogen generation. So that's like green energy. So I think it's a really interesting field, especially when you get to take a look at it. And I just love being like the designer of these catalysts, because I think it's just so cool seeing like, okay, I can do this, I can do that. Which one do I like better, A or B? Okay, B is better for this. So can I add something on top of it to make it even better for that application? I just think it's really interesting. I kind of think of it like the toolbox. So that's why I love doing what I do.
Well, and it's just to hear, listen to what you were saying and how brilliant you are. But just to think that without Canela, that may not have all been possible.
Yes, of course. Yeah, with her, I wouldn't have even thought of myself going to graduate school, honestly.
Exactly.
I would have probably thought that it wouldn't even be possible for me. So I'm just so grateful that I get to go to school every day, even if
Yes.
even if it gets hard. I just still love learning.
So you go through graduation, and they do this really cool special thing for Canela at graduation. She gets this patch, and they speak about her, and it really goes, last year really goes kind of viral. And I think I remember us talking before, and you talking about like your phone blowing up and social media blowing up. How crazy was that? That just like overnight, people had seen this video and thought how cool that was.
It was so surreal, especially because I was exhausted after graduation. I had done my undergraduate thesis defense like, I don't know, 3 days prior to graduation. So I was just in crunch mode. I was, finishing things up for all the clubs I was in. And then graduation was coming up. And all of a sudden I was like, oh no, is Canela going to be okay for graduation? Like, do I have to prepare anything? Like, what do I do? So I was just in this constant state of, okay, I just got to keep going, keep going. And after graduation, and I took in that moment, I was like, okay, this was so worth it. And I get home and I just fall asleep. I think I didn't move for like days. And I remembered
did you have any idea that they were going to do that during graduation?
They did let me know in advance because they wanted to make sure that I approved, I guess, so to speak, beforehand.
Yeah.
But they did keep it a surprise, like what was going to be in the speech and what they were going to give her. So they just told me that they wanted to do something and they wanted my permission. And I said, yeah, of course, because she worked so hard and I
made it possible.
Yeah.
So you basically, you've gone through your thesis defense, you go through graduation, you sort of pass out, and you wake up to this flood of social media.
Yeah.
Yes. I kind of absentmindedly posted the video to my Instagram. I was like, oh, this would be something fun to share with my friends. They all wanted to see her. And this is like the better video of it. So I posted it and then I like posted it, went back to bed. And I woke up and I see messages from my friends because I keep notifications disabled for social media. And I see all these messages from my friends and they're saying, check your Instagram, check your Instagram. Open it. And I see like 700 views. And I was like, oh, wow, that's a lot. And then I go back to sleep and I wake up and it's at 1 million. And I'm like, that's way more.
Oh my goodness.
And then the next day I wake up and ABC News is calling me and all these other news stations are calling me and they're like, is it okay if we run a story on this? And I have all these other news stations messaging me on Instagram saying, can we run this story? Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I was still like tired. So like every time I woke up, it was like I was getting a new phone. I was kind of out of it. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I did not know how widespread this was going to be. I saw that there were people from like Canada and Europe and the Netherlands messaging me about it. And I was like, wow, they ran the story in Canada. They ran the story in the Netherlands. I was like, that's a lot of places.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
But
so now you'll have to.
how cool was that you get 2 weeks, you go back and think about your story 2 weeks before you start your first semester in college,
Mhm.
and
Mm,
you end up in the hospital and realize, okay, I've never really thought about service dogs before, but we're going to look into this. And you get Canela as a puppy, and you go through all this training. You find the situation for you and for her, and then all of a sudden, just overnight, the whole world gets to hear about her story and your story. But
yeah.
with Canela's help, I mean, that's got to be really, really special.
Yeah, it was such a special moment because I think anybody with disabilities would, feel similar, but it's like you're always in this mode of survival. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You never stop to like consider, oh, I'm proud of myself for making it this far because you think, oh, everybody else can do it so easily. And
Um,
I was kind of in that same boat where I graduated and I knocked out, of course, but I just never took that moment to be like, oh, I'm proud of myself. And when the story blew up and so many people were messaging me saying, we're proud of you and you did such a good job. And, it's amazing Canela was able to help you. And I had people, many, many people message me saying that now they're considering getting a service dog because they just didn't think it was possible for them to go to
uh-huh.
school in like a STEM field with a service dog. And I I that was when I really got to stop and realize like, oh, I did something. We did something to help
Yeah.
me get here, and now we're making an impact to so many other people. It was just that aha moment of, oh, I have to take the time to recognize that we did something here.
Mm,
That's such an incredible story. What
it
would you
is.
say was so you hear from like ABC News, you have all these news stations that's going viral in the Netherlands and all these places. What would you say was the coolest segment you saw,
Spirit
or the interview that you got to do? What was like the like you sat down
highlight for
and were
this.
like, oh wow, I can't even believe this is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the really big one was the ABC World News Tonight story because that's the one where they actually interviewed me and
Uh-huh.
had family calling me who live like all around the US, and they were calling me saying, "Oh, we saw the story," and I was like, "Wow." The one that really was the one that me and my family quote all the time was the Good Morning America one. They were just
Okay.
looking at the pictures and talking about the story, but it was just like the smiles on their faces as they were like looking at Canela in her lab gear and going, and she has booties.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's adorable. Of course she does. She's in the lab.
She had a lot of cool accessories. Yeah.
She does.
Is that her on the airplane there?
Yes, that's her on an airplane. We travel quite a lot. She's been on, I think, nearly 20 flights now.
Yeah,
Yes. Huh.
that's very
she
cool.
she had little headphones because I don't know if dogs, their ears also pop on the plane. I actually don't
Mm-hmm.
know. But
Yeah,
I put it on her because when they're initially closing the door to the plane, it makes that pop noise.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And also when people are boarding, sometimes like they don't see her right away. And then when they turn their head, they go, "It's a dog!" And they're like screaming. So I put the headphones on her just to let her relax a little
A
bit as
little bit before
everybody
takeoff.
watching me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people would
Oh,
probably much rather fly next to her than probably most other people that they run into on the airplane.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dogs have a way of, even in other situations, but dogs have a way of being like, well, to most people, a calming, relaxing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you've had a bad experience, or you're scared of dogs, it might be something different. But most people generally get a smile on their face when they see dogs, and they're happy to be around them.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
very cool. What so tell us about how did
You,
like Hero Dog Awards come up and come around? Did was it something you saw before? Was it something they reached out to you about? How did that happen?
They actually reached out to me, and it was shortly after our story circulated across all these different news platforms. And I had made 2 posts on LinkedIn following all of this. The first one was me just talking about, my academic accomplishments. And then the second one was talking about more personally about Canela and saying she received this award at graduation and, all of the things that we just talked about how important she is to me. And that's when they reached out to me via LinkedIn, and they said, we think, we saw your story, we loved it, we really think that you should apply for the Hero Dog Awards. And that's how I first came about it. Honestly, at first I thought it was, a bot. So I was a little bit skeptical,
yeah,
especially because I hadn't heard of it before, unfortunately. And then after I did a little bit more digging, I was like, oh, first of all, this is real. Second of all, what they do is amazing. And, the work that they go toward to protect animals and things like that. And then third of all, I was like, oh, this is just such a cute idea to have a Hero Dog Awards. So that was how I was convinced to apply. And I'm glad that I did.
And it's another, they do such a, we've talked before. I love Hero Dogs. I think it's an amazing outlet to be able to get very cool stories like Canela's out there. So many people have heard your and Canela's story, but this is another way to sort of recognize that and show people like the life-changing things that dogs can
that a dog can do.
And what an amazing thing in the field that you're in. You don't normally see that, and so it's a really good way to highlight something like that. And you kind of get to do it. I mean, it's semifinals last year, semifinals this year. This is 2 years in a row that you get to really highlight Canela's story. I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm
how's
so
it
grateful.
feel? How's it feel to do it over again? Are you excited? As excited? I hope so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Good.
Even if she doesn't win, I was just happy to do this because the first time around when I did it, like I said, so many people were reaching out to me saying that they didn't know they could go into a science field because they needed a service dog. So even if we don't win, I know Canela's making change out there.
That's right.
Many people are inspired by her story, just as I was inspired by Samson's story. I believe he was the previous Dog Award winner. He was actually the one who inspired me to train Canela for the lab because I just didn't think it was possible. That was the biggest reason why I never got a service dog prior to college because I want to do chemistry. I can't do chemistry with a service dog. And when I saw that story, I was like, oh, it's possible. So
yes, I can.
So yeah, yes, I can. And that's when I went down that road. So I'm just so grateful to possibly be that person for others, for Canela to be that dog that inspires so many others to go into science fields. So I'm really happy to be here.
We were excited to see you all back in the semifinalists. So
thank you.
We love your story. So that's good.
Yeah, and you are definitely, it takes different folks. So Samson, sort of led the way for you to take an extra step. And now I really feel like people are looking at you and Canela and saying, hey, I'm proud of that. That's something that I can do. If they can do it, if Canela can do it, if Cecilia can do it, these are things that we can do. So I think that's just something you should be really, really proud of.
Yeah. Yeah, you're inspiring others for sure. Both you and Canela.
Thank you. That makes me really happy to hear.
Yeah, and I mean, you're in this incredible field, and you have a service dog that is right there by your side, showing people that really animals can do just about anything. So I think you said before we came on,
and you can overcome disabilities. Oh, go ahead.
Your semester starts next week?
Yep, next week.
So you have a pretty full schedule?
I think it's going to be the fullest I've ever had it.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Never gets any easier, does it?
It's a good thing you love learning.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I think
Uh-huh.
I'm still able to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, tell us a
That's
little bit about Canela. When she gets home, she takes her vest off and
for
she,
booties.
she just turns into playful little puppy Canela.
Oh yeah. So when I'm at school, people say to me, "Oh, she's such a like a lazy dog. She's so tired. Like she must be so old." I had one lady tell me, "Oh, she must be like 15 years old." I'm like, "No, she's
Oh,
young." But the reason why so many people assume that is because when she's working, she's so
uh-huh.
focused that she doesn't come off puppy like, you know, which in a way is a
Oh,
good thing because that means she's trained well. But as soon as
yes.
she gets home, I say to everybody, you should see her when she gets home because the second she comes through the door and I take off her vest, she runs like crazy around the house. She jumps on the couch. She has this routine where she knocks every single pillow off the couch. I think it's like her stress relief, like, oh, I spent the day protecting you, so now I'm going to destroy something. So she knocks every single pillow off the couch,
Oh.
grabs her toys. She likes to play rough. She'll run outside, do zoomies, like 3 laps. She'll lay out in the grass. She loves to sunbathe. I think that's her personal favorite
Oh,
time. she
that's
she just
adorable.
lay there. She likes to roll in the grass too. Um,
She's a dog, and
she
when she's not working, she's
Oh,
playing.
yeah.
Yes.
She plays with all of her puppy pals on the block. Like, sometimes we have play dates because I wanna make sure that she gets that mental break too, especially because we have
Uh-huh.
days throughout the week sometimes, and she gets that mental break. She plays with all her puppy pals. She does so many zoomies around the house, outside, inside, rain or shine. She's running around. So she definitely still has that young puppy energy in her despite what people will say. Um, but
Uh-huh.
she's just the cutest. She's also a golden retriever who refuses to
Yes.
retrieve.
This is a good one
Oh,
after
now
the
that's good.
so she doesn't like to retrieve. Huh?
Nope, we
She sees
tried.
no point.
She won't
There's no
retrieve
point.
as a playtime, and she won't retrieve as, like, a task either. Like, our trainer tried so many times. Every year, we try again to train her to
To
retrieve. She won't
reintroduce
do
it.
it. Like, I tried to just get her to retrieve to be a puppy, like, so we could play fetch on our breaks at UCF. Nope, she just refuses. She's
Oh,
like,
well.
this side eye of, like, how you on my break, you're gonna try and make me retrieve.
That's a cute story. The golden retriever that doesn't retrieve. Okay.
That's
She has
very
more
cool.
important things to do. Those pillows are waiting.
Well, she is so AmericanHumane.org. Voting is
Yes.
open until September the 18th. And you can vote once a day, every day between September the 18th. But when you think about it, that you only get one vote a day in each category, so you don't want to waste any days. You only have so many votes.
Right.
There's all the semifinals right there. There's Canela in the service and guide hearing dog
God,
category. Make sure to get all your votes in before September the 18th. And it was so nice to talk to you again and see how you're doing and catch up with you. And we're so happy to see Canela back again this year and to see how she's doing.
Thank you so much for having me again and letting me share my story. I really appreciate it.
it's a
Yeah,
wonderful story and it needs to be heard. So we're
it
glad to
is.
have you back.
You and Canela are doing some groundbreaking things, and it's really quite amazing, and really just leading the way for other folks. So
That's right.
doing a wonderful thing, as Dr. Robin says, a hero on both ends of the leash.
There you
Thank
go.
Well,
You're
everyone, get your votes in there again. Let's look again. There are the all 25 semifinals this year in the 16th annual American Humane Hero Dog Awards. Let's go back to Canela in the service guide and hearing dog semifinalist. Love Canela and her little lab equipment there. Excellent. Thank you so much, Cecilia. It was so wonderful to talk
Yeah,
with you.
thank
Good luck with
you.
everything. Good luck with school next week. Good luck with the contest, and we hope everything goes well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back on.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.